All right, so I wanted to do a little video as to my why for coaching, just because it's easier for me to talk about it than write it down. I do have it written down and I reread it several times, but my why, really, there's so many. I have struggled in my life with self-confidence. Ever since I was little, I was always kind of the fat kid, no matter how many times I worked out, I played sports year round, I was always bigger than everybody else. And so that made me struggle with self-esteem quite a bit. I went through some stuff as a teenager, made some very poor choices. I have since grown up and learned from that, but my relationships have not always been the best. My son's father, I was in a relationship with him for almost 3 years. He completely destroyed me as a person. He was never physically abusive, but mentally and emotionally, he tore me down and beat me down. I used to be the most confident person, so self-assured, would talk to anybody. I was super friendly. And after that relationship, I became a hermit crab. I had zero self-confidence. I felt like used goods. And it took me a while to kind of bounce back. I was later diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I kind of knew I had it. I mean, it runs in my family, and chemical imbalances. And so I wasn't super surprised. I was also diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety. A few months afterwards, when I started seeing, actually, I think it was maybe a year and a half later, I started seeing a different psychiatrist because I was no longer at the University of Idaho. I had graduated, and I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder on top of everything. That kind of set me in a downward spiral. I was so scared because I didn't know what it was. I looked it up online, which is probably the worst thing you can do. And I stopped going to therapy. I stopped seeing a therapist. I eventually moved out of my parents' house, stopped taking my medication. I thought I could self-monitor myself, and I couldn't. I did okay for a while, but I eventually lost control, and I became a miserable person to be around. I was depressed. I didn't get off the couch. I wasn't being the best mom that I could be, and I didn't want to set that example for my son. Sorry. And so I knew that I needed to do something to change. And it took ending a relationship that was probably one of the better relationships I've had. He treated me pretty well. Yeah, he made stupid mistakes, but we all do. It took that ending for me to realize that there was something wrong and I needed to change. So I went to the doctors, got back on my medication, which, I mean, that helped with my bipolar, with my impulse control, but it did not help with my energy and my parenting. I still had so much self-improvement that I needed to do, and I could see by the way my son was treating me how I was treating him, because our children are always a direct reflection of us. And so I knew that something needed to change. It was the heaviest I'd ever been, and I was so miserable and depressed. I had some friends and some coworkers that were actually doing the 21-day fix. And I was planning a trip to Cancun with my aunt that we went on this past summer, and I didn't want to go be on a beach and feel self-confident every second of every day. I wanted to be able to go and enjoy myself. So I decided in March, actually, was it March? Might have been April, something like that. March, April, or May, one of those, that I was going to take the leap and I was going to do it. I used the rest of the money that I had to buy that challenge pack. And I did it, and it was a huge success. It was the first time that I tried something that I actually had to work for, that I saw success in, and it just made me crave more. I had energy. I was able to start coaching my son's soccer teams. It was just such a huge turnaround. I felt so much better. I didn't want to come home and sit on the couch and watch TV. I wanted to come home and actually clean my house and go out and do stuff. And I knew that my son loved it because I was there more for him. And I had energy to actually play with him and go out and do stuff. And it just really changed my life. And I saw that people were following my journey. And that just inspired me so much more, gave me so much more motivation. So thank you to all of you who have been following me and motivating me and keeping me on track. I could not have done this without you. I decided to become a coach in August because I found a passion in this. I want to help people feel better. I want to help them find a purpose in their life and to go for their goals and do things that they never thought that they'd be able to do. With coaching brought on a new aspect of my life, which was personal development. It's something that I needed, and becoming a coach has literally saved me. I know that sounds really silly, but I have noticed a change in my son's behavior. I haven't noticed a change in my behavior. I don't scream and yell all the time anymore. He doesn't yell back at me. I mean, this morning was just this morning alone was a huge accomplishment. We were able to sit down and have a discussion about wearing shorts, and it just worked out great. I mean, normally it's a fight. Anybody who knows me, it's literally a screaming match every morning. And so this morning was just a huge turnaround, and it was amazing. So anyways, that is my big why. I mean, it has changed my life. It has given me passion and hope for the future. It has given me goals, and it has given me a fit family. It has given me friends. Yesterday I was able to go out to lunch with girlfriends. I haven't been able to do that in so long, and we were able to just sit down and hang out and chill and talk, and it was the best feeling ever. I mean, seriously, my life has been so much better since I started coaching. And that's my why. And I just want to thank you guys, all of you, for following me and coming on this journey with me. I really couldn't have done it without you.